A very good morning to you, Crafty Lot. Today is the 22nd of May. We're sort of almost into June now. I can't believe where's the time gone. It's Friday. I did check earlier because I never know what day of the week is or what we're doing at all. I hope everybody's all right. Everybody's had a nice week. I'm working from home today, so I'm going to do the Facebook Live from here. Thank you very much for Sarah to doing the Facebook Live yesterday. It was so lovely, something so different. And crocheting with beads, I think it's a really good thing. You know, you can give it a go. Even if you're not a crocheter, give it a go because it's very easy to do things. I did knitting with beads before, which I will put you on the Facebook lives list, which is as long as I'm on my arm and a leg on at the moment, but I will put you on because it's really great fun to do it. Let me just bring you up here on my iPad so I can see all the lovely comments. I'm going to turn you down, and I've got so many lovely samples to show you. So many different colors. This is a really pretty weave. Very easy to achieve as well, and you know, it's only a couple of materials what you need, sort of seed beads and size 11 seed beads and 8mm pearls. So how's everybody today? How are we doing at home? It's quite overcast here, so I don't think I'm going to be beading in the garden today, but that was my plan. I got a Tiffany necklace to make up. My mother-in-law Sue asked me to make her one in sort of a hematite color. So my plan for today was to sit in the garden and do one of these, and I got a couple of other samples to make up for the weekend, but I might just have to sit indoors. I'll sit by a window. Does that count? Probably not. Right, so let me say hello to you. How's everybody doing? Morning, Sarah. Sarah is watching. Let's just go up. Oh, there's so many of you lovely ladies are here. Morning, Alicia, Joe, Edward, Helen, Maxine. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say. Barissa, Dorothy, Maureen, Gemma, Pauline, Linny, Ruth, Janet, Di, Judith, saying happy Friday to you as well. Although at the moment I don't think it makes a difference if it's Friday, Monday or Tuesday. Morning Jan, Lucy, saying morning Kitty, lovely to see you. Oh, thank you. Morning Jane, Camille, Patricia, Betty, Liz, Marie. Oh, there's Linda. There's so many of you here. Right, let me turn the camera down and I'll show you the samples and I'll show you what we will be doing. So I'm just put it in my rig. That's it. Right, so this Elizabeth weave, I came up with this one last year. Now this is a very simple weave and only really using, I think if I put this here, it's going to be quite close, but actually you can see, you will be able to see quite well. So I made it in so many different colors, and I really enjoyed it. It's such a lovely little weave. Oh, Sue is saying, morning Kitty, windy and grey in Devon. Yeah, it's quite a grey here. We got a little bit of a breeze, but the breeze is quite nice and warm at the moment. So it's not too bad, I guess. It's not, I don't like when it gets icy and very cold wind. Claire is asking, could you make this bracelet with smaller pearls? Yes, probably could, but you would have to work out. I haven't worked out the thread count, well, the bead count for smaller beads, because when you're using smaller beads, the beads what you're going to be putting around it, it's going to have to be less. But as you can see, we've got so many lovely colors. Morning, Paula, Julia. Oh, Sarah is watching. Morning, Sarah. Oh, Mary's saying she loved these bracelets. I'm just going to take them all off. I added a magnetic clasp to these, so it's really easy to open them up and put them on. Let me just, actually I got a blue bracelet on, so let's put blue next to it to match my colors. Very easy to just snap together and very, very comfortable to wear as well. So I got, hence the magnetic clasp, what these stick together. We get great fun with them, I guess. My whenever I make bracelets like this, I have to say what my son does. He connects the magnetic clasp all together to make one big loop. and sort of plays with my bracelets. I was like, no, you can't do that. I don't want, have to be careful. But they really strong, so there's nothing can happen with it. So, what color shall we do? I got most of the colors here. So let me know a color you would like me to make. And then I'm going to make that one. Do choose a darker one because I think it's going to show up better than a lighter one. Although we can perhaps use different color seed beads to see what's the best one. I think I got most of them here. So let me know what color you want me to make and I will make that color. If I haven't got the color, then I'm going to have to take the second answer for it. So let's see. Oh, I think it's red, the first one they're saying. I think red is a little bit garish on the camera, unfortunately, because I had a demoed with red before and it didn't really come out very well, I guess. Because if I bring it up, as you can see, you can sometimes around the red you can see like a little glow. So let's not do the red, sorry. What's the next one? Let me just go back on your comments. Right. Sorry, Brain Freeze here. There's so many lovely comments, and it's as you adding more comments to it, it's keep jumping up. Right, olive green, yellow, 3 baby pink, green looks good, gold, aqua, pink, blue. Yeah, not red. They're saying the still blue. Oh, I can't see. It's all keep jumping back up. Aqua, green, please. Grey, gold. Navy blues keep jumping up and down. So let's still blue. This one will show up quite nice, and this hematite one. Or what about this one? This one show up quite well as well because the seed beads are a different color, isn't it? So we're really going to see what we're doing on this one. Let's do this color. I love this. This pearl has just got a very sort of a hint of purple, but it's almost white, and I really do love the color of it. So let me just grab my materials. We don't really need much. We need some size 11 seed beads. We need size 8 pearls. I got my thread here. I'm very quickly going to thread my, oh, there we go. I'm always a little bit nervous every single time I have to thread a needle live because I'm quite good with it and I'm quite quick with threading needle, but when you have to do it live and you talk at the same time, it never really works the right way. So I'm always holding my breath when I'm threading my needle live. Right, and we're going to need one of these lovely magnetic clasps. Don't forget, these magnetic clasps do come in all sorts of different ways. This is, I do have quite a lot at home. I've got smaller ones and larger ones as well. This is something what you must have in your stash because we use them all the time. Right, before I go any further, I want to tell you about Simon did an offer for us today on the website. So as you know, we had a free PDF page before, which is gone now, and we replaced it with Facebook tutorials, it's called. If you go in that page, not long you're going to have today's one. I'm going to bring this in. Not long you're going to have today's ones there, what we're doing today, but you can go back and watch all the previous Facebook lives, and we've been doing it for 7 weeks, so there is so many on there that all sorts of different techniques. So I'm going to go into today's one, and the PDF is free today, so do download that. Share the videos so your friends and family can download the PDF as well and get in the crafty fun. The bracelets are $7.99 each. Now we had tested it with the ginkgo bracelet we did a couple of weeks ago, because when we do an offer on a website, it's only be there for like a day or two or until stock lasts, and if you are watching this on catch up or a week later, it's you don't get to you know, if you did a get offer like 20-30% off of something, you won't be able to have it. So today, if you at the checkout, if you put Lizzy Lizzzy into your basket, into your comments, well, no, there's a little where you can put your voucher code in. So if you put it in there, then you will get 20% off of those lovely bracelets. So from £7.99, they're gonna come down to £6.60. Is that right? Right. So how are we gonna start? This is sort of you going backwards and forwards on yourself with this stitch, and it's really, really easy. We're gonna start with one purl, just adding one purl to our thread. Sorry, let me just cut the end of this. And that's it. So we're gonna start with one purl, taking it down on our thread. I do like to work a couple of arm spans, not really more, because I don't want to get tangled up. So I just added one purl, then I'm gonna pick up one seed bead, and this is my tail end here, so there is my bobbin at the end, and I'm gonna go back down towards my tail and pull this up. And when I pull it up, you can see that little seed bead just gonna sit on the top like a proud little, just like a picot, I guess, at the top. It's just gonna sit right on the top there. And that's it. That's what we did so far. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go through the loop on the clasp and take this all the way down. I love doing bracelets when I'm doing bracelets like this, when I'm sewing on the clasp straight away, because then later on you don't have to come back and sort of attach it. So you're working straight from the clasp. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to knot the tail end and my working thread together to give me a good base. As we are knotting here by the loop on the clasp is quite big, so it doesn't really matter. Our knot will be hidden later on as we come around and add beads to it. So I'm just doing a double knot, like a nice little reef knot, nice and strong there. Actually, I think I've done it 3 times while I'm talking. I stopped counting. So we are really nice and secure there. Now we're gonna go back through our purl, just up to the seed bead. Pull this out, and then we're gonna go through the seed bead as well. Right, so here is when we're gonna start doing our going around our purl. So I'm gonna pick up 9 seed bead. 1, 2. The count of seed beads will be different later on when we gone past the clasp. 7, 8, 9. Once I picked up 9, I'm simply gonna go through the loop on the clasp. So we added this little seed bead row going around. Linda is asking, what type of safety chain would you use that doesn't stick to magnetic clasp? To be perfectly honest, I don't really use safety chain on my bracelets. I know that like some people, I like to wear my bracelets a little bit looser, so they hardly ever come apart. I think if you make a bracelet too tight and then you flex your wrist, they can pop apart. That's why I always sort of made them a little bit looser. But if you want to make something, a little safety chain, it's 4, 9. I'm trying to sort of count the seed beads at the same time. If you want to make a little safety chain, so when Linda said about safety chain, some people add, as you close your clasp, sort of maybe a 2-3 inch worth of chain or something to your clasp, so if it does open, it doesn't fall off your hand. So you could make it with seed beads themselves. So if I was making a safety chain for this one, I would most probably use the same color seed beads I have on my bracelet, and just sort of even from the tail you can do it, sort of just loop it around and go to the other end, and then work your thread off there, and then you just have a nice little sort of a little feature as well. But it's very functional because if you flex your wrist and this pops apart a little bit, that chain is going to be on there, keeping it very safe. And if you open it, the chain is, even if it's a couple of inches long, you can get it through your hand very, very easily. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I see that there's you answering each of the comments. I see Sarah is answering some of the comments. So that's it. So we hugged our first pearl with our seed beads. That's really... Question. Oh, my interesting question. My watches keep doing this. It keep talking to me. Let's put the naughty watch away. Let's just take it off and put it down. The other day when we were doing a video, it was talking quite a lot. Right, so we hugged our first pearl with our seed beads, and now we're going to pick up our second pearl. So I'm just going to get a pearl from here, go through the pearl. I then going to pick up a seed bead at the same time, take this all the way down. We're going to turn our thread around, missing this seed bead, and just come through the pearl. Now, as you can see, did I go through the... Oh, I'm ever so sorry. I think I was trying to look so hard and I went through the seed bead itself. Oopsies. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, I think, today. I'm all fingers and thumbs. Right, so let's repeat this again. We're going to pick up a pearl and a seed bead, take it all the way down. I'm going to miss the seed bead. Let's push this naughty seed bead out of the way and come back through the pearl. Yes, it's going to stay on the top. Very good. Right, so as you can see, this pearl is connected to this seed bead from the previous pearl right at the top. Now, what we want to do, because this pearl is only connected to the seed bead on one side. Can you see that's coming out? If I pull it apart a little bit, you can see. Shall I bring it up a little bit? You can see it's only connected on one side. Now, what we need to do here is to connect it on the other side as well. So I'm going to locate this seed bead with my needle where I came out from, and that side, and I'm going to come from the opposite, and I'm going to go through the same seed bead again. So this pearl is connected from both of the side of the seed beads. Now I'm not going to stop there because I need to go through one more seed bead, because when we're doing the loops between pearls, we're going to start from the second seed beads, because if you were starting from the first seed beads, not long they would sort of sit on top of each other, but what they would start doing is they would start flapping around. So I'm going to go through that middle seed bead, which is connecting the pearl, and then the seed bead right next to it. And from here, our seed bead count is going to change because, as you can see at the top, we went down right to the sort of very bottom of it. But here we only have to connect this seed bead to the top one. So we already one seed bead in, and another one is at the bottom there. So we only need to pick up 7 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're gonna go through the seed bead on the top. So as you can see, we're creating those lovely little seed bead loops at the top. Now to complete, hug it with all the seed beads, I'm going to pick up another 7 here. 5, 7, just double check, 2, 5, 7. And now, because I'm coming at the second seed bead here, adding the between my 2 pearls, I want to go from the second seed bead from the middle on the other side as well. Just like that. But I'm going to take my needle all the way through because I need to be able to step up to be in position to add my next pearl. So I'm just going to bring my thread around, following the thread path I created with the first loop, going through those seed beads. I probably have a couple of goes here. I don't have to keep doing the same one. So this is the end of the first loop, and I'm gonna go into this middle seed bead. This is the picot seed beads we added earlier, because that's where I want to connect my next pearl. So let's get another pearl. I'm gonna take another pearl and another seed beads, take them all the way down. Hopefully the seed bead is not going to be naughty. Let's just get the seed bead out of the way. So we're not going to go back through the seed bead, we're just going to go back through the pearl. And then, as locating these seed beads we were coming at before we added the pearl, we're going to come through from the other side and the seed beads next to it. Then we're going to pick up 7 of these lovely seed beads. Go through the top, that little picot what we added, and then back down on the other side with another 7 seed beads. So this is really, really easy. It's only a couple of steps to it. And I'm gonna come one before the middle and go all the way through. Pull this tight. Oh, come on, come on, come on, then my thread just twisted a little bit. That's it. So I got to my second loop, and now I'm gonna go all the way up to be in position to add the next one, and you're gonna carry on in this manner as many beads as you need. Now I have to say the bracelet kit on the website does make 2 bracelets, because you get a full strand of the pearls and enough seed beads to make 2 bracelets, and 2 clasps as well, and thread and needle, everything in there. So I think they are $7.99 on the website, but if at the checkout you put in the coupon code saying Lizzy, Lizzy, you get 20% off. So it's not bad, I guess, to make 2 bracelets for £6.40. Right, so I connected that pearl to my previous one, going through the next Diane is asking, do you use a thread protector? I'm going to go through probably this last pearl loopy around a couple of times with my thread. So I don't necessarily use thread protectors, because it's, you know, the more times you go around with the thread you can. You can use a little bit of a gimp if you like, but because the seed beads are right up on the top of our sort of clasp, and it's going to come around again, it's going to be nice and strong there, so it's not going to come apart. Another 7. I think I'm getting the same as Sarah. I can't sort of talk and count at the same time. And then I'm going to take another 7 and go down on the other side. So has anybody got a question? Has everybody sort of gets what we're doing? 1, 2, 3 of the middle ones first. Right, Claire is saying, I wish I could see a close-up when connecting another pearl. No problem. Let me just go up through these seed beads, and I will be in a position to connect the next pearl. So just going through the seed bead, following my thread path I created already, all the way to the top. And I'm going to go through this middle one, because that's where I want to connect my pearl. So you're always connecting your pearl to the very middle seed bead. You're going to pick up a pearl and a seed bead. Take this all the way down. So it just sits on right on the top of it. Now I'm going to take this naughty seed beads out of the way and just come back through the pearl. and turning my thread around, and that little seed bead just going to sit right on the top. And now this is my middle seed bead. This is the one I'm coming out of. So as you can see, it's connected to the pearl on one side. So I'm going to come through from the other side and go through that seed bead and the next. So if I pull this out a little bit, you can see that pearl is connected both of the side of that seed bead. So that's what makes it sit nice and straight. And then you're just going to pick up 7 seed beads and go through the little seed bead on the top, what you added. It's really easy, I guess, once you get your head around it. Oh, Claire saying thank you. And just another 7 on the other side. Let me just add this 7 and I'll have a look at your comments. I'm really sorry if I haven't answered anybody's question or comment. I will go back into the video later on Facebook and answer everybody's question. And I do like to flip my bracelet backwards and forwards because I like to sort of bead away from myself and as I go along, so I'm always in the right, I guess, position to pull my thread. But you just sort of need to work out what is the easiest for you. And again, I'm at the position to add pearls. So let me just go back to your lovely comments. Bring it on my computer. Oh, I think you are answering each other questions, which is really great. Don't forget the voucher code is Lizzie, Lizzy. Molly, if you are watching, can you please just pop it on there in the comments so everybody know, everybody do get it. Simon unfortunately had to pop out this morning, so I did ask Molly to do answer the questions or put anything on there. Or Molly, can you add the links as well on there? So if people are looking, I did add the link on the top of the video as well, which is points to our website when you can find all these lovely kits. And if you put Lizzie in there, you get 20% off. So you can make 2 bracelets. It works out like £3.20 a bracelet, which I think is really great. So the middle one, and I need to go through the next one as well. Diane is saying, I have some lovely cultured pearls, which will be gorgeous. Yes, so depending on what size of pearls are, you might have to reduce or add more of the seed beads on the side. Because if you're working with smaller seed beads, then you probably have to reduce it for less. And if you are working with not seed beads, sorry, pearls, then you have to reduce it or add. Claire is saying she likes to work away from herself too. I think it's what you get used to, really. And again, like so many people holding like tools and pliers in so many different ways to us that it's a very good thing. Like Sarah, she likes to twist towards herself when she's doing with wire. I like to twist away from myself. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just going back. So as you can see, I've been not doing it for very long now, but I got 1, 2, 6 pearls on there already. I think for a normal bracelet, well, I say normal bracelet, so this is very controversial as well, because it depends on how big is your wrist size. And we always chuckle about this because Sarah's got, love her, a very dainty tiny wrist. So when you're making a Sarah size bracelet, you probably only need about 15, 16 pearls. If you're making my size of bracelet, you need about 20, 21, I guess. But let me just count this one, because this one fits perfectly. 10, 12... 14, 16, 18, 19. I got 19. So Sarah's probably would be 15, I guess. And just keep adding your pearls and your seed beads all the way up. I'm using size 11 seed beads. I think because you sort of go through the middle one quite a few times on the top and the bottom, you can't really use size 15s. But you do experiment. If any of you experiments and sort of come up with different sizes or different number cans, do pop it onto one of our groups. On Totally Beads, we have a group called Handmade by Totally Beads. And there is so many, I think there's about 1,300 people in there now. Just people posting their makes, what they've been doing in the lockdown, and we've been seeing so many lovely makes. It's so inspirational for everybody. Sorry, just let me take a sip of my coffee because I feel my throat is going to be going and drying up, and I'm then going to come in. So there's so many lovely pictures everybody's putting up. Some people are more advanced, some people are beginners, and I think that's what the great thing about it, because we're giving inspirational ideas to everybody. And don't think what you're doing is too basic or too, you know, everybody has to start somewhere, I guess. And sometimes less is more, I say. Sometimes even I like to do very simple things, sort of threading things or straight stretch elastic bracelets or anything, you know, something really easy. So do post pictures up on there, any of your makes. We do love to see it. I think as designers, me and Sarah, we are so... I think it makes you feel proud, like, you know, when you're proud of your children when they achieve something at school. But when we show you a technique and then you go and put some pictures of what you made with that technique and what you did with, you know, if you've taken it further, you could have worked out different numbers of, you know, anything. And it just really makes you feel proud that people are using your ideas and techniques, and it's just really, really great to see it all. I think Sarah is collecting some pictures from people. She wants to do a montage, a lockdown montage. She said more for her own entertainment. Doris is saying, I got the trapezoid order from CNC yesterday and they look beautiful. I will have a go at making them, but not sure if I can do it like Sarah. Oh, I'm sure you will. It's really easy that to turn the loop on the top. Unfortunately, we can't watch back the shows in Create and Craft anymore. You used to be able to go back 7 days and watch everything what was on, but they're taking the catch-up away. I'm not really sure why, but we keep asking to put it back on, and hopefully one day they might listen and put it back on, so you can't watch the demo back on. Perhaps we can ask Sarah to do a little demo on here on Facebook to show you how really easy it is to connect that trapezoid pendant, really, because it's a pendant, to anything, to turn into a different component what you can use with key rings. So I'm missing the seed bead, just going back to the pearl. As you can see, I'm probably halfway through this bracelet now. Locating where is connecting, going from the other side. Very easy, and I suppose relaxed. This one is quite relaxed to do. So how has everybody been today and yesterday? Has anybody made... I've seen some pictures of Sarah crocheting. Is there anybody who never crocheted before and had a go? Do let me know. I do like crocheting, but not very confident, I suppose, because there is so many different techniques with crochetings as well. And I bought a pattern. It was a lovely blanket, but I guess the pattern really put me off because it was like 2 tog, 1 tog, this tog, that tog. I can't remember how it worked, but the abbreviations were like really hard for me to follow because I didn't really follow a pattern with crocheting before, so it's put me off. And I do some basic ones, but I love knitting as well when I get to it. But my problem with knitting and crocheting, see, I just got myself into a little bit of a knot here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take another needle And this is the easiest way to get yourself out of the knot. So I'm using the needle like sort of knitting hooks and sticking one right into the knot, and with the other needle I can pull the knot out and a little bit apart. And that's it, my knot came undone. It just sort of looped around my seed bead. Oh, Claire is saying, I'm learning macrame as I like them, especially summertime. Yeah, I like macrame as well, but with macrame as well, there is so many different knots you can do. Most of us are doing the basic square knots. I think Sarah knows a few more knots as well, so maybe I should put her on to do a macrame video. I think each of us, like, we are into different things, and I think that's what great as well. So even like turning loops, we turn it a slightly different ways. But then Sarah is the master flower maker, I say, because she knows so many different techniques for the French beaded flowers as well. But then I'm sort of do more stitchy things or different techniques, but I like to play with more. So as you can see, I'm just keep going around and around. Oh, Lucy's saying great tip for knots. I mean, I got myself into knots so many times that sometimes you can sit there and take longer to undo the knot than actually get a new thread and weave it in. But I always undo the knot because I want to sort of not like save my thread, but have the bracelet made of less joint thread as possible. But when we do the bead clubs, it's quite funny because we got this really nice bunch of ladies who come to the bead clubs, and they do get some stuff in knot, and they call me, oh, can you just undo my knot? And I'm keep going around and undoing knots. So bead clubs is what we usually held at the warehouse. Obviously, there is nothing on at the moment, and I don't even know if they're going to let us have some this year, but it's a really sort of Tuesday or Thursday afternoon. Really nice bunch of people, just like-minded people. We go through different techniques, same as these Facebook Lives, doing different bits of pieces, have a cup of tea, a biscuit, and just a nice atmosphere. Diane say I wax my thread as it keeps the thread straight. So it's depending what thread you use. I do have I had one here today. So I do use bead wax as well. I got this one. I do keep it in a packaging so it doesn't completely dry out. Now, depending on what thread you use, Supalon is what I'm using, is already conditioned. And sometimes what I find, if you add extra beeswax on the top of it, it can get into the eye of the needle and block it, or get into the beads as well. But like Nymo, if I was using Nymo or any other thread, I would condition it again. And it's very easy to do. You would just sort of pop your thread in the hole there and pull it through, and it just adds a very thin layer on the top of it. It makes your thread a little bit more slippery as well. But yeah, so I use beeswax as well, but not for this one. Supalon, I just use it as it is. Claire is asking what type of thread you're using. So I'm using Supalon size D. I have probably got, I'm not sure if you can see it, one of obviously every single color what's there. There's two different sizes. The one with a little blue dot, that's the thinner one, that's AA, and the thicker one is D, which one I'm using most of the time. I would only use the thinner one if I use sort of size 15s, or I have to go through the same thread path many times. Otherwise I use D. Now, I had these threads forever. Some of them do have a couple of the same color, but they never really, you know, I hardly ever use any. They go forever. A bobbin of thread, which is 130, I think, it lasts you years. There's a couple of colors what I use most of the time. So I do like this charcoal color, which is a very light, like a very dark gray. I use this quite a lot. I use grey a lot, and ash color is quite good as well, sort of beigey colors where you can use in more colors of seed beads. But I always like to match my seed beads rather than my pearls. So here with the thread, I would match the color of the seed beads and not the color of the pearl. Is A strong as D, Kitty? So AA is not, it's thinner, so it won't be as strong as D, but you won't be able to break it with your hand because it holds up to the weight of, I think, 5 pounds. The A and the D is 6 pounds, so you won't see the difference at all in the two sort of thread in terms of performance that you would break. I only ever had a thread broken if I use crystals in my weaving, and sometimes, well, probably 99 times out of 100 your crystals are fine, but one time out of the 100 you might get, so if I just pick up a string of crystals here, so one times out of 100 you might get one dodgy crystal. This one is actually perfect, but it's got like just a little chip right next to the hole, and that's what can cut your thread. So when I do work with crystals or do anything with crystals, I do, before I pick them up, I just quickly look at them. But I said 99 times out of 100 they're always perfect. It's only that one time it do happen that it breaks your thread. Very rarely. I probably maybe have a couple of bracelets broken in a whole year, but that's it. So just keep going and adding your pearls. I actually almost finished this bracelet while I've been chatting here to you. Andelina, sorry, I hope I said your name right, is asking, can you list the colors in the packs? Is it difficult to see what colors they are? Are we talking about the Supalon thread here? I'm just going back and looking at some of your comments because... So with the thread, we do sell them singularly, so you can just buy one thread, and we do sell a pack of them. I got this one, I just put it on a necklace, so I know I got all 36 colors on there because it comes in 36 colors. And this is why I love Supalon, because there is so many different colors. So no matter what seed bead you get out or what pearls, there is a thread to match that color. If I go sort of more of a burgundy one, I got another thread to match that color. This is sort of a bluish gray. Then I can either use the light blue or one of my favorites, the silver as well. With obviously white one, you would use the white ones, but it comes in 36 different colors. So Fireline is great, and some of the other threads out there are really great as well. But this is what I love about Supalon, because you get this array of colors. So we do sell them separately, so you just can buy, that's the orchid, that's called lavender, that's a light orchid, that's pink, rose. Oh, it's quite amazing how I remember all the names of them, because usually that's sienna, that's burgundy, red, orange, yellow, that's cream. That's a nice color to have because that goes with quite a lot of your colors. You got chocolate. This is a nice one as well because it's a really dark brown. Then you got, I think that's just called brown. These are the colors, but I usually mix up. I know that one is ash, that one is light beige, that one is light brown, that one is tan. So tan is the one which is going to perfect with your golds, although that one is got gold, but it's a darker gold. This one, I can't remember the name of this one. Then you got your charcoal, you got your black, you got silver, olive, I think dark green, chartreuse, sea foam. That one is teal, turquoise. I think that one is called sky blue. That one is light blue. No, that one is blue. That one is light blue. That's royal blue, definitely. That's royal purple. And then we're back to the beginning. So you got 36 colors in total. So you can buy them separately, or we do sell a tube of 12, which I'd ask Molly, how much is the tube of 12? Because I don't haven't put it on the website. But in one tube you would get all the pinks, all the sort of the bluey colors and the greens. Another tube, I think the gray goes with them as well, so there's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yes, so in one tube you would get all your blues and greens. Another tube you would get all your creams and blacks. And the third tube of mix we do, you get all your pinks and purples, all your lovely sort of flowery colors. And then it turns out cheaper. I think then they work out £1 a tube. But can if you, Molly, you're still watching, can you just pop it on how much is that? Because at the top of my head I don't know. So that's about thread. That's why I love Supalon thread, and that's why I use this all the time. But this I don't really use. This is sort of just my color reminder that when I use the other ones. Just pop it back and pop it in back in the box. So, do you get thread with the kit? So, the thread with the kit, you do get, obviously matching the color and what you would need with it. So, with the white one, and the silver line pearls, you would get a white thread. The turquoise one, you could get a turquoise thread. You do get thread with it, and you get a needle as well. So, all you need, you get both of the clasps. So all you need to make 2 bracelets is a pair of scissors, and I think everybody must have a pair of scissors at home, because I don't think you can call yourself a crafter if you haven't got a pair of scissors. So we all have a pair of scissors, and that's it. So just keep beading. If you're new and you just joined us to watch, we're doing this, we're hugging our pearls with seed beads. It's a very easy technique. I'm going to show you the steps again just one more time, so if everybody joined, they can see it right there. So Diane's saying £13. Thank you very much. So that just work out just, I guess, £1 and 8p or 9p, 8p for 12 bobbins of thread. But each thread, oh gosh, must have probably about 72 meters on there, so it's a lot. You're never really gonna run out. Right, so I'm at the top. I'm coming out of my middle seed bead. I'm gonna add one of my pearls and pick up a seed bead at the same time, and take it all the way down. And then I'm gonna, missing the seed bead just there, I'm gonna come back through the pearl, and I'm gonna, once I pull this side, I'm gonna look, I need to go back through this middle seed bead again. So as you can see, this is connected on one, the pearl is connected one side of this seed bead already. I'm gonna come from the other side and go through that seed bead and the one next to it. So my pearl will be connected to the seed bead on both sides, and pull this up tight. Now I'm going to pick up 7 seed beads. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. I think I dropped one. 7. And I'm going to come through the little picot seed bead we added on the top. Omer is saying, got several pairs of scissors as I love sewing. I got so many pairs of scissors at home, and I invested, I do a bit of sewing, dibble dabble into all sort of crafts. And this is quite a bit, because in our house you can never find a pair of scissors when you're looking for them. So I bought this really, well, I can't remember how much were they, but I think they're about £20 a pair of scissors. They, especially for sewing, especially for cutting fabric, nothing else. And I even made a little, I think it was like a little cross stitch book to hold needles on the top, and attached it to it. Well, I'll show you in another video. And one day I came home from work and I found, I think Lucy must only been, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. She was quite small. So I found her in the playroom, in the old house we had a playroom, sitting on the floor and cutting up good old newspaper with my sewing scissors. You can imagine. Oh, I'm picking up 7 now. I only need to pick up some. You can imagine my frustration when I seen her. So very quickly taking it off of her. But yeah, all got loads of Camille selling their scissors all over my house. So I do have sort of some cheaper scissors what I picked up from IKEA in various places what the children can use, and then I usually tuck one little scissor in with my seed beads, and or you know where I have my project, or one with the threads. So I do have probably 3 or 4 little scissors on the go at a time. 5, 6, and I'm just gonna hug this pearl again. Just going right up there, just like that. And then I'm gonna pick up another 7 on the other side. 4, 7, and then I'm gonna come back through the second one from the middle, all 3 of them in the middle go through them. So if you go on our website, I'll show you again if you're joined. We used to have a page called Free PDF, which is gone now. So if you're looking for that one, don't, because we don't. We replaced it with another page called Facebook Tutorials. Just go up to the top, and on this page, if you click on that, so if you go on the on totallybeads.com and you go on the side, sorry, totallybeads.co.uk, and you go on the side and you find this category called Facebook tutorial, where all the lovely Facebook lives we've done, they come up with all the different. We've been doing it for 7 weeks, so there is a loads over. Like we done hair grips, we done wire wrap jewelry, that's a nice beginner ones. We done hair bands, that's a nice beginner ones as well. Memory wire, candle holders, we done tiaras, beaded chains, rivolis, chain tassels, Russian spirals. So this is more your stitching and beading ones. We've done beaded beads, a flat spiral, that was a really great one, and I made one for myself in an ombre color and wear it all the time. Sarah done a tennis player bracelet, she done her pin collar, netted bracelet. We did the ginkgo one, that's this blue one. The button man, that was one of Christopher's designs, and he made so many different colors. It was really great to come up with it. But anyhow, so you got loads on there, do check it out. Now if you're kicking in today's, now on the day, if you have got a PDF, we always give it away for free. So do go into that section and download the PDF for free. Do share the video so your friends and family can download it for free as well, and you get in the making as well. Now the bracelets are $7.99, and if you put Lizzy, Lizzy, into your the checkout, into your coupon, you do get 20% off. Lizzy, so that just say Lizzy, but it comes in so many different colors. Now each of these, let's look at this pink one. Each of these comes with 2 clasps, come with a whole strand of pearls and enough seed beads to make 2 bracelets. It includes needle and thread as well, so all you need is a pair of scissors to make it. So that's how you can find it on the website. The link is right at the top of the video, and at the I think Molly and Sarah added it in during the live as well, so you can find it quite easily. I think I almost made a haul of the bracelet now. Maybe a couple more beads I need to add. Gosh, we've been on here for an hour, but let me just add a couple of pearls and then I can show you how to finish them off. And if you just joined, what size 11 will you be using for the rainbow bracelets? So the rainbow bracelet, what I just showed you, that was already on a couple of weeks ago, and that was using size 8 seed beads. Now if you click on the website and you go into there and you look at you can buy the bundle if you like, but if you got the seed beads and the miracle beads already at home, you can click on the link at the top where it says our Facebook page. It takes you directly to the video, the Facebook Live, what we done for it, so you can, not along, you know, you can make along with it. But I think it's really great because some of the PDFs afterwards, they are available for purchase. Today it's free, but tomorrow it's going to go up for $1.99. So you can watch it as well, being made, as well as, I guess, following your PDF. So I'm just adding another couple of pearls, and I'm going to show you how to add the end on. Oh, Claire's saying that's brilliant. She's going to go and have a look. I got another rainbow bracelet coming up next week. Everybody's just loving the rainbow, and I'm loving the rainbow as well. I always loved making things in rainbow, I have to admit. Rainbow and ombre was sort of my thing, because when we go to, well, like, hence look at the Elizabeth bracelets on the website today, that how many different colorways we got. I'm the sort of person, when we go on a buying trip to China and all over the world, the Czech Republic and other places where we go, I go into the factory shops and say, oh, well, we got this new crystal, and we can do it in 20 different colors, let's say. I always have to have pretty much all 20 different colors, so I can just play with it and create all sorts of different lovely color combinations. And I think that's half the fun, to play with things and do. And really and truly, when you're making different colors up, and you're doing so many, you know, of your bracelets, what you're doing is learning the technique sort of over and over, repeating the same steps. And that's why I say you need to make probably about 4 or 5 bracelets to completely chisel it in there, so you never forget it. So the first one, you probably learn your technique. The second one, you perfect it with your, like, you know, with your tension and everything else. And your third, fourth, and fifth one, then they're gonna be really, really perfect. So just keep practicing on doing the same thing with and that's why when we do color bundles as well sometimes, so you can make them in different colors. If I buy the PDFs from previous make, does it charge postage? That's Paula's asking. No, it doesn't. So if you go in and you only buy the PDF and you don't buy any physical item next to it. So, for example, if you went in and bought the PDF and you bought some beads, and obviously the PDF will be emailed to you, but we will have to send the bead out for you, so you will be charged postage. If you just buy the PDF on your own and check out, you won't be charged for postage at all, and the PDF will be emailed to you pretty much straight away. The system does it automatically. I think it will be there in minutes in your inbox. I'm not really sure that how does it do it, because me and computers don't mix that well. So I'm right at the top. I need to add, just line this up quickly so I can see. 2 more. Sorry, 2 more. Another few more minutes. And we'll be, let me just get this crystal out of the way. Sorry, wobbling camera. So if you just joined us, I'm just adding a pearl, and added a pearl and a seed bead. I'm going to come back round to the pearl. Just pull it tight. Locating that seed bead on the top of the pearl before where I am coming out from before adding this pearl. And I want this pearl to connect it to this seed bead on both sides. So as I was coming out from this side, I'm going to come from the opposite, go to that seed bead, and the one next I'm in the position to add further beads. So I'm connecting that pearl to both sides of that seed bead. And now I'm going to pick up 7 seed beads. And then I'm just going to go through the one on the peak on top. It's really, really easy technique. I love this one because you don't really have to, as long as you keep picking up the same seed beads, you don't really have to think much about it. You just sort of go along and do it, I guess. It's like Russian spiral. I love Russian spiral as well because it's nice and easy, just sort of going around. and repeating the same step over and over again. I think something about saying repetitive stitching and repetitive work, it really gives you a very, so I suppose, quite therapeutic as well in a way. And I always say I give my hats off to teachers, because I don't know how they got patience for 30 children in a classroom, because I certainly wouldn't have patience for that, but somehow I got patience for this. So I could sit there for hours and hours and add my, this is the last pearl, isn't it? Sorry. I'm going to have to take a step back because we need to add the clasp. So when you're picking up your last pearl, just double check the size, but I think that's it. Yeah, that's the last pearl. So when you're picking up your last pearl, you pretty much have to make sort of the same what you did on the other side, the adding your clasp. And we're not going to be picking up the seed bead, just rethreading my needle. We're not going to pick up the seed bead right on the top of that pearl. We're going to go through the clasp, the loop on the clasp on the other side. Now, because I'm working with one loop magnetic clasp, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take this off and quite easily add it on the other side. If I was working with something with two loops, I would add them sort of curl it around my hand and add it while they closed, because I don't want the clasp to flip. So after picking up your last pearl, you need to go through the loop on your clasp, and then you're gonna repeat what you did. So you're gonna come back through the pearl, just like that. Locate that middle pearl. It's there. I'm coming at this side of the pearl, so I'm going to come from the other side, go to that seed beads, the middle seed bead and the one underneath it, just like that. Now our seed bead count is going to be different here, because obviously the loop on the top is much thinner than if it was a seed bead. So when we coming to add the clasp, we only need to pick up 8 seed beads here. So remember when we started at the front, we added 9, and then around each of the pearls we only need to add 7, but at the bottom here we're gonna add 8. So I'm just gonna pick up 8 seed beads. And you can do this, I guess, the PDF today is free, so do go onto the website and download it. But once you got familiarized with the stitch, I guess you could work out to do it with different size of seed beads as well. And then I'm just going to go through that loop and pick up another 8. Sorry, I'm keep flipping my bracelet around, because I always like to stitch away from myself. So I guess it's just easier for me to work that way. And I do beading in, when we drive, we usually drive to Hungary in the summer, and when we drive to Hungary I do like to do beading in the car as well. And my husband always ducks, but I never get him, because I always stitching away from myself, just easier. So that's it. I added my last loops. Now what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna run up and down on the bracelet, just on the outside of it. So I'm gonna take my needle right to the top again. I'm gonna go through the clasp. Let's go through these seed beads, through the clasp, and then we're gonna run down on one side of it. That will connect the loops together. That will connect the loops together as well, so then they will settle on one side of your pearl. So if I pull this up tight, I'm right here at the point of the bottom of this loop, and I would be going into the middle if I wanted to follow any previous thread path. But what I want to do, I want to create a new thread path on the side here. So missing these 3 seed beads, if you count the 3 seed beads in the middle, I just want to go on the side one. So I'm going to go through the 6 seed beads on the side of each pearls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's right. So I'm never going into the middle 3, and I'm just weaving my thread all the way down to the clasp on the other end. And that's it. And just keeping on going. So this will reinforce your thread path. It probably will make your bracelet maybe, you know, when you pull this up, it's really pulls it tight, just a tiny bit shorter. But that's maybe only gonna be like a 1/10 of an inch, or really just half a centimeter smaller when you pull all your beads together. So it's nothing really much to worry about. Oh, my magnetic clasp just snapped together there. So just keep on going down through those seed beads. If you do have a go at any of this, do pop a picture onto we got groups on our Facebook page. So the most popular one called Totally Handmade by Totally Beads. And we set this up probably maybe October, November time last year. And it's just really like-minded people sharing their makes. There is nothing too advanced or too easy in there. You know, everybody has to start somewhere. So I always encourage people to share even the basic things, or even if sometimes people say, oh, this is too basic, you know, nobody wants to see it. But I think a lot of people, exactly for that reason, they do want to see it, because they might be in the same shoe, and they might be, you know, just starting out, and they just want a little bit of inspiration. And it's, you know, really great to see all the more complicated, intricate pieces as well. But if you're a beginner, it can be a little bit daunting. So if you're a beginner and you make something, do put pictures on there, because we all love to see what you're making. And even though if you have been beading for, oh gosh, over 15 years, a long time, or more than that, 18 years, I guess now, we all like to do sort of back to basics and do stretch elastic bracelets. I was actually playing with some Samus beads yesterday from Parpuka, and I want to make a nice stretch elastic bracelet with them. They got 2 holes, so that will be it will be next week by the time I get around. Oh, Paula's saying I must have already found without realizing, so probably she's just answering somebody's. Right, so I'm almost right down at the bottom. Just got a few more seed beads to go through, and then quite simply I'm just going to turn my thread around and go all the way up on the other side. But as you can see, as I pull this together, so let me just take this apart. As I pull this tighter, my bracelet is start to pucker a little bit. So this is a great thing to do. So if you want to make necklaces, pull one side a bit tighter and just go very loosely on the other side, and you're going to have a nice front piece for a necklace. If you are want to make the bracelet, obviously, then do pull pretty much the same tension on both sides of your pearls, and then you get a nice straight bracelet. But as you can see, it pulls the seed beads down, and they're not really underneath the pearl, but they're not on the side of them. They just sort of sit down on a little bit of an angle, and that's what I love about this stitch as well. If you added an extra seed beads, probably they would sit a little bit further up, but because they sit sort of almost flush from the bottom of the pearl, that's why your bracelet can't really roll around, because they there, I guess, act as a little stopper as well. So it always sits on your wrist perfectly and looks stunning. So today, well, not today, we're going to keep this offer on for a week, because what we found that when we're doing offers on sort of just straight percentages off on the kit, we always it's always on there for a day or two while the PDF is free, and after that Simon puts it back to full price. Unfortunately, I haven't got much saying in the pricing, I guess, because that's his department. I can come up with pretty bracelets and pretty designs, and he's an accountant by trade, so it's his department to sort out pricing. But what we're trying to do for a couple of these videos, because you might be watching this video a few days later, but you still want to take advantage of the offer we're doing. So if you put Lizzie, Lizzy, so Lizzy into your, I think there's a coupon code box at your checkout, then you get 20% off. So instead of £7.99, you're gonna get them for £6.40, and each kit makes 2 bracelets, so £3.20 makes you a lovely bracelet. It comes in so many different colors, and it's as you can see, it's a really easy stitch. It's really great to, you know, just to, even if it's perfect for beginners, I guess, and even if you're more experienced, it's really great to do something where you can just relax. This, I always say, like, things like this is my TV makes. It's not because I make them on the TV, because I do create and craft time to time, but this is like, I got a 9-year-old boy, Christopher, and Lucy's 13, so we do have movie nights. And sometimes they do choose quite a good movie and you enjoy it and you don't mind just to sit there and watch the movie. But other times they do choose some movies which is, you could really sort of have better things to do for the 2 hours while you sit there. So this is my movie makes, because when they choose a movie which is not really that to my taste, I guess, I can just sit there and concentrate on beading something or making something, because I still have to count the seed beads, so it's not completely, I don't have to pay attention to it, but it's sort of good enough to keep me amused, just to sit there while they're watching the movie, and we're still together as a family, which is great. So this is my movie make. Something like this would be my movie make. But I really enjoyed this stitch, and that's why I made it up in so many different colors for the kids. That's it, I'm almost on the other end, and then I'm just gonna tie my ends off with half hitch knots or 1 thread knot. Edward's asking, can we use different beads to make it if it's the same size? Yes, so if you're using 8mm beads, it could be a miracle bead, it could be a hematite bead, it could be a crystal bead, it could be any bead really you have at home. So all you really need is 8mm beads and size 11 seed beads, and obviously your clasps, your magnetic clasp, and it's really easy to make. So I'm going to go through all my seed beads and the loop on the clasp as well one more time, and then I'm going to tie my thread off. So I'm just going to come up a few more. Actually, I do it right in the corner there, because then it will be hidden between the 2 beads. So to tie your thread off, as I'm coming out of this seed bead, what I want to do here, I want to catch the thread between the 2 seed beads. I'm not going through any of the seed beads. I'm going through just sort of catching the thread path underneath. I'm going to then pull my needle through, and as you can see, there's a little loop forms with my thread. Now before this loop disappears, I'm just going to go through this loop, and when I pull this nice and tight, you can see there's a little knot forming there. Sometimes you can even hear them sort of pop into place, and then I'm going to go through the next few beads, then pull this out, and I'm going to do another 1 thread knot here. Sorry, wobbling camera. And then I'm going to catch the thread here. But I suppose if you made these beads in, because we do get quite a lot of times to ask for male jewelry. So if you could do this, if you do it in matte beads, like hematite's got most amazing matte finishes, and hematite is quite popular against men as well. And then if you're choosing something like a matte seed beads to go next to it, it would give you a totally different look. So that's it. I just went through the next few seed beads, and now I'm gonna cut my thread off. So I'm just gonna come in, I'm gonna pull my thread up and push my bracelet down, and all is left to do is to go to the other side and work that thread off. So I'm going to thread my needle and work the thread off in the same manner as I did here, sort of knot it off. I think I might have pulled my sides a little bit too tight here, but no, actually it's going to be all right. And we got ourselves a lovely bracelet. I really do love this design. So if you go on our website, just let me show you one more time if you just joined us. It's called totallybeads.co.uk, and in the categories you have, so even on the drop down menu or on the side, you can find a place where it's called Facebook tutorials. If you go in there, it's going to show you all the different stuff we've done over the last 7 weeks, I think you've been, and we covered so many different things, working with mesh, flat spiral, bead weaving, Russian spiral. When I say we, it's me and the lovely Sarah Millsop do it together. So we sort of share it. She does a few days and I do a few days. So it's really great. So some days we get a lay-in, which is going to be, for me, it's going to be on Sunday because that's when she's on next. And I suppose she had a lay-in today because she was on yesterday. She was doing a most fantastic crocheting with tiger eye beads, and it looked really good, sort of a multi-wear jewelry she did. So if you go into that section, as we said, until we are in the lockdown, we do like to sort of give something back to the community as well. And what we did, so on the day of the video, we put the PDF on the website, and today it's free. For tomorrow, it's going to go back up to $1.99, I think it was. So if you're watching today, do go on the website. If you just want the PDF, you can download it. You have to check out your basket, and then it will be emailed to you, because that's the only way the system works, I guess. So if you want any of the kits, I put them in there. We made them in so many lovely colors. I'll show you the finished samples in a minute. They're $7.99, and if you put Lizzie, Lizzy, in the coupon box when you check out, it will give you 20% off. So these kits not only contain thread and needle as well, but they make two, so you can make two of any of the colors you choose. So do check out that one as well. So let me just get rid of these seed beads, pull them out of the way, and then I can show you all the lovely colors again, because I had so much fun making all these up. I think I actually had help with some of them, because I ran out of time and I needed them for when we were launching them, and the lovely Jean in Colchester helped me to make some up. So sometimes I have some lovely ladies who help, because you can imagine if one bracelet takes you an hour to make, and then you got 20 different colors to do, it takes a long time. So I love all of the colors, and it's such, sometimes I say less is more, and especially this one proves that, because you only got seed beads, size 11 seed beads, and pearls in there, so there's nothing really complicated materials. You only got really basic materials there. You can make really lovely and really nice and colorful bracelets. Now, saying that everybody's into the rainbow, I guess, you could do a rainbow version of this as well. using all sorts of different colored pearls and seed beads as well. So you could do all sort of different things. So there's, I think there's 20 colors on the website. So do check that out as well. Oh, Julie's saying, what is the demo for tomorrow, please? As don't appear to have received any notifications. So what happened with tomorrow at the moment, I need to make a sample up for it because it's going to be with Christopher and we're going to be doing these lovely photo pendants. But, and I made a photo pendant up. I had one with my grandmother and I had one with my grandfather as a sample, but I put them in such a safe place. I can't find it. I don't know. The place is so safe that we can't find them. So we're gonna make photo pendants with the aim of these little sort of bells and this little glass domes. We're going to be doing it with Christopher. It's going to be a quite an easy make. So if you got any children or grandchildren, this is again a very lovely make you can do. Now, you don't have to use just photos. You can use a 4-leaf clover, or you can use anything like little dried flowers you can put inside there. You can do anything with them. They are really great and easy make. I just love the idea of the photo pendants because I had some, actually I got the photos here. I had to dig them out to make some. So I had some really old photos. This one of them had the date on it. They are really, really old. This one was 1950, July the 8th. So that's my grandfather and grandfather. So they are really, really old photos. So I had them re-scanned in and printed last year because obviously I don't want to cut the original photo up. I'm going to use this to make a little photo pendant up. And the idea of it is that you can put your old photos, and because they're old and black and white or sort of brown and white, they make really great pendants. They look really good. But that's my mum and my grandmother, so that's my mum there. That has been probably maybe 1954. So you can put sort of anything in there and they will look really, really great. So do tune in tomorrow. That's 10 a.m. At the moment we're doing Facebook lives, sort of rain come, slow come, hail come sunshine. We are here at 10 a.m. every morning doing all sorts of different techniques. So today was a bead waving, tomorrow it's going to be in the photo pendants. I did it with Christopher. We'll do it with Christopher because he's quite interested in the crafting at the moment, so it's really nice to do something with children as well and keep them busy and keep them crafting. And I always say, when I was little, my mum used to do crafting with me all the time, and I think that's where my love for crafts and everything else is, I guess, is coming from. So the sooner you start with them, I think the more they're gonna like it. And then we got other great things coming up as well. Most of the things are added to the website. I'm gonna do a rainbow tubular herringbone stitch next week. Might even come back with the ombre version as well. Just waiting for some stock to come in. And that's it. So every morning at 10 a.m. we are here at the moment, definitely until the lockdown. The PDFs are going to be free until, if there is instructions or if the PDF with that particular project we're doing, it's going to be free for the days, just to sort of give something back to you. Because I know so many of you supported us for so many years. You can download it for free on that day, but it's only there for a day because the next day we're doing something different. But if you do miss it, you can purchase them for most of them are 1.99p to 1.99, and I think the most expensive one is like 2.99. To get the crafting and beading. So that's it for me today. Let me turn you back around. That's it for me. So to just, I can see that's the sun is coming out, I think, a little bit. So that's it for me today. I hope you really enjoyed it. Do put pictures on the Totally Beads handmade group, because I love to see what you're making, even if it's not what you've been doing today, even if it's something completely different. Do put stuffs on there, because I just really love to see to see what you're making. I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee and have some. I actually haven't had any breakfast yet, so have some breakfast. And then I got quite a few things to get on with today. I need to make some orders for from some of our suppliers. I need to order more magnetic glass from Bits of Pieces. So I will be busy doing that. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with Christopher. We're gonna be making the photo pendants. Sarah will be with you on Sunday. I can't remember what she's doing on Sunday. If you're still on, can you just pop it in? I think she's working with acrylic roses, like a really nice big rose pendants on Sunday. So do tune into that as well. Otherwise, me and Christopher are going to see you tomorrow. Do have a lovely day. Take care, everybody. I'm going to go back and have a look at all the lovely comments, or if you had any questions what I missed, I will answer them. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.